Let's look at the blend. There goes Palou. Scott Dixon out between him and Josef Newgarden.
Huge. Palou got ahead of his teammate by making the undercut. That could be the race-winning move for Alex Palou ahead of Scott Dixon. That could put Scott Dixon into second again.
Unreal. This is why this guy's got 3 championships in the last 4 years. Normally, this is an overcut race where running longer is advantageous. He pit first, got up to speed quickly. That L lap was so impressive, and this could potentially be the move to win the race. Now Newgarden is sniffing blood in the water. He wants to get by Dixon.
In the season opener to the 2025 Entity IndyCar season, Alex Palou got the jump over his teammate Scott Dixon and Penske rival Josef Newgarden. In this scenario, you'll have 7 laps to go from third to first and do what Newgarden couldn't do in real life and steal the win away from the 3-time champion Ganassi driver. Do you think you have it in you to pull this late race charge?
Well, hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. Today, we're coming at you with a new concept. So you know how in the old F1 video games you had scenario mode, which was real life situations put in the F1 games? Well, considering we don't have an IndyCar game, I thought I'd go into Assetto Corsa and kind of create and mold a scenario mode in itself. So I took on the role as Josef Newgarden, chasing down Scott Dixon and Alex Palou in the dying laps of the 2025 St. Petersburg Grand Prix. Now I've given myself 7 to about 6 laps to try and catch Dixon and Palou and pass them both to be able to beat this challenge. I have the AI on pretty difficult setting right now, so it's going to take everything I can to try and catch these guys as fast as possible and as cleanly as possible. Now if you guys are liking what you're seeing, make sure to like and subscribe down below to see more of this kind of content on this channel, as you probably won't be able to see us anywhere else with any other kind of IndyCar YouTuber. We gained a little bit of time to Dixon and Palou. I gave myself about an 8-second gap to the duo up there of the Chip Ganassi drivers, and we are catching them slowly but surely, but it's going to take a lot more of them kind of making more mistakes than me trying to push every single lap to try and catch them, because there's only so much I can do to try and catch these guys, whereas they are going to be the ones that are going to be dictating the pace that I have to try and catch and do better. As we're able to see right here, a couple of laps later, we're actually caught Scott Dixon by quite a bit, and we're actually catching the part in the track where he seems to be really slow at. You saw he actually got the corner right there, the barrier, and he got a really slow exit. So now we're on the push to pass, a little bit faster entry into the corner right here. We go down the inside, late in the brakes, and we get turned by Scott Dixon because the AI doesn't really acknowledge that I'm trying to squeeze him out of room and just stay in the throttle and wreck me. So anyway, later in the next lap, same part of the track, we're able to catch him, but this time we run into the back of him and spin out. So this counts as a failed attempt. Right, so here we go again for attempt number 2 of this challenge. So I'm a little bit closer this time. You probably noticed that. It's because the way this kind of works is that I gave myself an extra lap to kind of build a gap because it's a standing start kind of thing, so I have to like kind of set up the gap. But here we go. We got a good run on Dixon right here in the first straightaway, and we go a little bit deep. We lock up the right front, but we get the pass made somehow, and we get hooked, and we get turned by Scott Dixon again. I have no words. Right, so here we are on board with the Iceman himself, and going through this corner, you can definitely see, yep, he definitely right hooked me there, definitely. That was 100% intentional. Right, so here we are for attempt number 3. So I've opted to go a little bit more of the aggressive route and started pushing and pressuring Scott Dixon in the first lap after the standing start. And right here, we get a good run on him towards the end of this lap, going through this little bit awkward chicane right here, and he slams the wall to oblivion, and we somehow get a better run through there than he did, and we get the pass done. So now we gotta focus and try and set our sights on Alex Palou. Right, so now jumping to about halfway through this race, 4 out of 8 to go. We are catching Alex Palou slowly but surely, but I still need to catch a couple more tenths here and there. And you can see right here, like under the braking zones, we're able to gain on him by a lot. And right here, through this little section right here, he actually locks up, and we're able to gain on him under braking, but he pulls us by a ton under acceleration. So it's definitely like a little bit of a cat and mouse game with the AI here. And I messed up right there by slamming the wall. but it's definitely a cat and mouse game where I'm able to gain under braking and they're able to pull away on exit. Alright, so here we are on the second half of the next lap, and we have caught the back of Alex Palou right here. We are making strong gains throughout each and every lap, and we're able to really get through the corner in the first half, and then through this little left-right chicane to, well, it's more like right-left chicane there, and then through this final corner, he seems to really get me on the exit right there and just pull away a lot better than I am. But later, next lap, we're able to get him through the technical part. We get a little bit of loose moment there as well. And through the technical sections of these two right-handers, we're able to really close up on him right here. And right here, we actually get into the back of him. We both spin around, but he's able to recover better than me. And I had to kind of do like a half spin and get back going. So very unfortunate moment right there. But we've actually managed to catch back up to him within a lap, which is absolutely insane. So it must mean that he's really using up his tires a lot more than we are. And yet again, as we made the pass on Dixon a couple attempts ago, we're going to try and square him up here in this left-hander, but I go a little bit deep, can't really do nothing about it, not really much room to go past through there anyway. He gets to this little chicane pretty good, and I have a little bit of a look here into the final corner. Hopefully we get a better run on this final corner. We do. Heading into the final lap, we're actually going to be a lot closer than we've ever been in all the other attempts to actually try and win this challenge for once. Now going down into turn one, we make the pass, but we get super loose under braking, a little bit rear locking, make contact, and he gets back by us. But we get a good better run out of the second corner and onto this back straight, or this, yeah, I guess second straightaway. We could have dove to the inside, but chose better of it. Going to the right-hander into the most technical part of the circuit, we're really having to wait on him to try and get back up and going, because we could easily try and make a pass somewhere, but at the end of the day, it probably just would have been really catastrophic, and we get a really good run here on the second or the third straightaway in this lap. We on the push to pass right here, and we go down the inside, show them the nose. We go really deep through there, make a little bit of contact, and we lose out on that exchange of trying to pass them. But the race isn't over just yet. Going to the final corner, we're going to try and send it in deep, hopefully get a good launch out of the final corner and maybe drag race him to the line, but we don't have the acceleration quite like he did on the exit of the corner onto the front straightaway. But he wins this time around, and we get a little bit of frustration side pod slam right there. But yeah, that's probably our closest attempt yet to winning this challenge so far. Alright, so after that disappointment, I decided to skip to the point where we are able to get a run on Dixon right here and make it a little bit easier to pass him down this front straightaway, kind of like how the last attempt ended. Get a better draft through the front stretch, and we're going to beat him on the brakes, but he's actually going to roll the outside a little bit better and go into the next corner. He's actually going to check up really big here, slam it to the back of him, and he's going to wreck horribly in the first couple of corners of this challenge, but that doesn't really matter. I mean, there's not really any rules because it's like make-believe scenario, so no caution's going to be thrown for that. So now we're going to set our sights on Alex Palou, and we're definitely a lot faster this time around than we were the previous attempts. So now it's just going to be a matter of time of when we're going to be able to catch him and then pass him. Alright, now fast forwarding to lap 4, going about to like halfway point of this lap, we're in the technical section once again, and we've shown that we're faster than the AI through this section, and we get a pretty solid run in the backstretch here, and we got the push to pass here, but we haven't elected to use it just yet because, I mean, we got about 4 more laps to really try and figure out how to get past Palou here. And it's proven pretty difficult to even just try and navigate around the AI through these really narrow corners. As you saw, you got a little bit sideways through that little chicane, and now we're going to get actually a pretty solid run off exit, but then he has like a little bit better like long run speed on the front straightaway. So now we're going to be right on his gearbox going into turn 1, and we almost run into the back of him, but we take the high road and get a little wide in the entry of that corner, which probably saved us from wrecking again. But now we got a really good run out of the last turn, and now we're on the inside of Alex Palou going into this right-hander through the technical part of the racetrack where we've been faster than him, and we go side by side through this corner, and I actually have to back out because if I felt like if I kept on going side by side with him, I probably would have wrecked based on the past experience with the AI through here. So it's probably for the best I didn't push the issue there. Right, so now coming to 2 to go in this attempt, and we're closer to Alex Palou in this front stretch more than we've ever been before. And when it's looking like we're going to be able to get the pass here, we got the draft, got the push to pass, going into the first corner, but we haven't been able to outbreak him here. And he's able to do what Dixon did before and roll the outside, but that compromises his entry into the next corner, and he checks up really badly, so that kind of holds us up. Then we set up the pass again for that inside, reminiscent of 2 laps ago, and we're set him up right here into the braking zone. We almost get by him, but we make a little bit of contact right here, and now I'm going to actually commit, try, and hold it side by side, but we almost get thrown into the barrier right there, and he gave us absolutely zero room for there to be absolutely like any way for 2 cars to fit through that gap. And once again, Alex Palou gets checked up going into this long back straightaway. We have a run, but we have nowhere to go with it. And we're on the push to pass, so we're faster than him, but once again, there's like no place to really pass him other than getting a run on one of these straightaways. Now going to this last chicane right here, can't really do anything about it, but we go deep into this final corner, and what we're going to do here is actually set up the long straightaway here with a better exit, better run on the push to pass again with slipstream, going into the final lap of this attempt. And we got the run on the inside, dive really deep into the corner on the brakes, get super loose, get a little bit of rear locking, and now we're the ones who's going over the bumps and gets a terrible run out of this little complex right here. And now we're on our back foot trying to get back close to Alex Palou within striking distance to try and pass him again. And a little bit of deja vu right here. We're faster again through this technical part of the track, but we have nowhere to go because he's just parking the bus on these apexes, allowing us to not pass him right here. But he once again had a terrible exit onto this back straightaway. We're on the push to pass right here. We're gonna get a solid run right here with a slipstream and everything. Dive up on the inside right here, lay on the brakes, gonna force him actually into the wall, and now we're got the pass made finally. And now all we gotta do is just cruise on home, and the challenge victory is finally ours.
And out the final corner, Josef Newgarden has done the unthinkable. He has been able to find a way around the immovable object that was the rear wing of Alex Palou's DHL Honda. He will now come down to win the 2025 Grand Prix of St. Petersburg for Team Penske.
And with that, that finally wraps up this challenge as we go for a little bit of a celebratory donuts here right at pit exit. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe down below to tell me if you guys want to see some more of this kind of content, of some more scenario modes that happen from real life Grand Prix races. The next one I want to try and do is Long Beach with Alex Palou trying to chase down Kyle Kirkwood. So let me know down in the comments below if you guys would like to see that. As always, thank you for the support, and make sure to like and subscribe down below. And until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.